For commanders, Tranod here, one of the devs of Kron Wars. For a while, the frontier is just somewhere you pass through. Follow, sell high, dodge pirates, move on. But sooner or later, that stops being enough, and you decide you don't just want to visit a sector, you want to own one. Today, we are building your first outpost. Let me walk you through it. Before you lay a single beam, you make a choice that stays with this place forever. Option 1. The Colonial Seed. Cheap and fast. 10,000 Kron and it builds in 2 hours. It plants your flag, builds the planet's output, and gives you the first line of defense. No market. Here your mine, refine and hold. A pure production fortress. Option 2. The Frontier Starport. It costs more and takes longer, 70,000 Kron and 4 hours build. But when it lights up, a port is born right in your sector. And with it, a safe zone that shoots off fighter attacks. Your planet stops being just a factory and becomes a crossroads of trade. Choose carefully. You can swap one for the other later. A seed stays a fortress with no market. Starport keeps its port for life. But a planet isn't yours just because you want it. You have to take it. And taking isn't one click. It's a whole process. It starts with a preclaim. You bring fighters to the planet and stake your ground. And not just any fighters. Every planet demands a specific number and type to claim. So you show up with the right force for the job. This first hold is contested and far from final. The planet only becomes 3 years later, once you have actually built something on it. And which planet you fight for matters. There are all kinds of planets out there. Molten volcanic, frozen glacial, deep oceanic, lush Eden, silent dead worlds, and more, each with its own production. But one stands above them all, Void Nexus. It produces a material so rare, it's the key to the very top, the stuff you'll need when you finally reach for a Tier VI Citadel. And they are brutally scarce. In a universe of 5,000 sectors, there are at most 10 of them. And they only ever appear in the most dangerous space. Security levels 0, 1, and 2. The best planet in the galaxy sits exactly where it's hardest to hold. Someone going to own it might as well be you. I won't run through all 16 here, but the full table is in a written DevLog on the site. Every planet, what it produces, and exactly how many fighters you need to proclaim each one. So before you pick a planet, go read it. Links in the description. Here's the part I love. An outpost doesn't just appear out of thin air. You have to bring it there yourself, piece by piece. There are 3 things you need. First, the license. The deed that makes this outpost legally yours. You buy it at the Stardogs or Shadows licensing bureau. Second, the component itself. The physical Colonial Seed or the Frontier Starport, also bought at the Stardog or Shadow and loaded into your cargo. And third, the one people forget, the raw materials. An outpost has a real bill of goods. Alloy frames, and alloys, fusion cells, and a colonization beacon. No license, no build. Seed not in the depot, no build. Material shorts, no build. The game checks all 3 before it lets you lift a finger. So you flight it out to your planet, drop the seed into the planetary depot, and once every box turns green, you hit start construction, and the timer begins. 2 hours for the seed, 4 for the starport. It's not instant, and the galaxy keeps turning while it builds. And here's the good news, you don't have to sit and watch a timer. Bookmark the sector and go to your feed. Trade, mine, hunt. The build runs on its own while you are gone. When it finishes, a message drops into your inbox. Your outpost is up. So you jump straight back with your bookmark. Drop into the sector, and there it is, standing on your planet. And now, only now that it's actually built, you're locked in the final claim. The planet is truly, fully yours. If you went with the Frontier Starport, this is also the moment your port and your safe zone come online, and traders start showing up. But this is just Tier 0, a flag on a rock, a good part starts now. From here, your Outpost can grow into a Spire Citadel 6 tiers of it, from a modest node all the way up to a semi-sentient orbital cathedral that projects influence across the whole universe. Each tier costs more and takes far longer than the last. Final Jump is a multi-week project, the kind of thing you plan around, usually with a whole corporation behind you. It's deliberately an game. And you make it yours with modules, 8 active at a time. Turn it into a walled fortress, a shipyard that bids ship from your blueprints, a stealth den that hides your fleet from scanners, a diplomatic hall, 2 citadels, at the same tier can be completely different beasts, depending on what you slot in. And if you choose the Frontier Starport, there's a second ladder running in parallel, a commercial starport, climbing all the way to level 6. Upgrade it, and your port becomes a player-run ship market. Start the ship you build, set buy orders for the ones you want, and undercut the official Stadock prices. Fortress on one side, marketplace on the other, both growing on the same planet. Here's the catch, and it's the whole point. The moment you own territory, you own a target. An outpost with a citadel on top is a prize other commanders and whole corporations will come for. Building it is the easy part. Keeping it is the game. Oh, one more thing, and this one came straight from you. When we shipped the stealth limpet mine last time, player asked for a way to actually sense one of your hull. We loved it, so we built it. Now, when a limpet attaches, it leaves a faint irregularity in your fusion output, your reactor without. No alert, no icon. But if you know your ship's number cold, you will catch that UFO isn't reading where it should. And that's your cue to dock and sweep it off. We are deliberately not telling you how big the tail is. That's the whole point. It rewards the commanders who actually pay attention, without turning it into a 3-scanner. That's that one. This is exactly how we want to build Kron Wars, with you. So, where will you plant your first one? A quiet corner to Greenpeace, or the basis lane you think you can hold? Tell me in the comments. Kron Wars is a browser-based space trading MMO. No download. It runs right in a browser, and it's in the closed beta, now at kronwars.com. Subscribe and ring the bell to catch every devlog and be the first into the next beta wave. fly safe or don't. Like I always say, it's your galaxy.